Hi there, I'm Cat Harvey and I'm about to give you my Scotland Dream Team. Now, I've chosen this team on the basis of players that I like, players that should be in a Scotland Dream Team, and I've got one wild card that I think you'll find pretty obvious when I get to him. Basically, I've been a Tartan Army fan for about the last 20 years. I've been to over 50 away games, so I have suffered on the terracings. I've seen Scotland win a couple of times. I've seen lots of draws and I've seen lots of defeats as well. So this is my dream team. You might not agree with it, but I hope you'll have some fun going through it with me. At number one, this is a difficult one for me because my heart says it should be Alan Rough because I'm a Partick Thistle fan. He's capped 53 times and he's just a lovely guy. My head, not Andy Gorham, I'm going to go with Jim Leighton for this one. Probably because he was part of that trio, Leighton, McLeish and Miller, that right the way through the 80s I just thought were absolutely invincible. You couldn't beat them in Scotland or for Aberdeen, and I think Jim Leighton, you know, looking back, he gets a bit of stick, but I think he was an absolutely fantastic keeper. And for him to come back, he went down to Man United, it didn't work out well for him down there, but he came back and then he played on for Dundee and then he ended up back at Aberdeen and he played till he was 41, 91 caps. I think the guy's a bit of a legend. Bandy legs, but a bit of a legend. So my number one, my goalkeeper, is Jim Leighton. In at right back, my number two is one of the nicest men in Scottish football. He's got the best beard and the best laugh. I think you'll know who it is with that. It's the one and only Danny McGrain. I think he makes every Scotland Dream Team. He'd make probably every Celtic team, probably a World 11 at that point. Danny was just class. He was cool, he was calm, but he was also a fiery character. You know, he was never going to be beaten, and his timing and tackles is just second to none, and he's going to be my right back in my dream team. As I mentioned earlier, the two I'm playing alongside him in defence, I'm playing 4-4-2 by the way, is McLeish and Miller. I just think the two of them together were meant to be together. If one of them made a mistake, the other one would nip in and sort it out. Sir Alex Ferguson, of course, he was our manager up at Aberdeen, and he described Willie Miller as without doubt the best penalty box defender that he's ever seen. I think I would have to agree with that. I remember seeing him on several occasions when I was little because my brother, believe it or not, was an Aberdeen fan because he got a red strip from Santa. That's it, there's no other reason. He got a red strip from Santa one year and that was him, an Aberdeen fan. So we used to get dragged when Thistle were away to Aberdeen games, and Willie Miller and Alex McLeish were just absolutely outstanding. Alex McLeish is playing alongside him in this lineup. I know Big Eck because I used to work in football, so I've interviewed him a million times. He's a lovely guy, but on the park you did not want to mess with Big Eck. He was strong, he was determined, he was, again, a fiery player, but as cool as you like and just somebody you would absolutely 100% want in your team. I just think the trio of Leighton, Miller and McLeish should not be broken up, and that's why they're the kind of basis to my defence. At left back, I'll be honest, I really struggled with left back. Plenty of right backs for Scotland. So what I'm going to do is a little bit controversial. I'm going to stick Sandy Jardine, who would normally play in the right, into the left back position because when he was at Rangers to start with, he ended up playing, I think, most of the defensive positions. So he could probably... I think he could play left back. He probably wouldn't thank me for it, but he'd be a good, strong defensive partnership with McLeish and Miller and Danny McGrain. And I think that's a pretty invincible back four. I'm very happy with that indeed. Moving on to midfield is where it starts getting a wee bit amusing from my point of view. On the right wing, I'm going to go with Jinky Johnston. Now, I have never had the pleasure of seeing him physically play, but he's just one of these players that when you see videos and old footage and old games, and of course the 1967 game, you just want a player like Jinky in your team because football can be really boring, it can be 0-0, it can be all of that kind of nonsense, and then you stick somebody like Jinky on the ball and you never know what's going to happen. I think he would just be a joy to watch most of the time. You just want him to go up the park, take people on, score. So Jinky's going to be on my right-hand side of midfield. Next to him, I'm going to put Graeme Souness. Because I just don't think you can have a Scotland team without Souness in it. Now, might not be your favourite person in the world, but you can't deny that you would actually be in a team that you would want to win. You would want to play for Souness. You would not want to be a teammate of Graeme Souness as he was captain and you'd let in a goal. Oh my God, you'd be terrifying. But again, another player, gives 100% all the time. Sturdy, strong, tough, very tough. Just ask George McCluskey's surgeon. He'll probably tell you how tough he was. I think that was his first game back in Scottish football against Hibs. I remember being at that game and poor George got a bit of a sore tackle. But anyway, Souness would be in my midfield because I just think he would be phenomenal. Next to Souness is my wild card. Now, this player has never ever been capped for Scotland, and I think it's a bloody disgrace because he's one of the finest players that Scotland have ever produced, albeit a total 100% complete mental fruitcake. And that's why I love him. It's the one and only CHIC CHARNLEY. Chico! He would be in my sort of central to left midfield, playing alongside Souness. Now, CHIC played for over 16 different teams, I think, in his career, probably more than that, 16 senior teams anyway. Sent off 17 times, which is maybe why he didn't make it to the top flight. Safe to say, he had a bit of a temper problem at the start, but again, as a Partick Thistle fan, he's just had some of the most amazing touches I've ever seen on a football. He could be an absolute genius. He could run past 9 players in the park, get to the ball, you know, right up to the goal and fall over it. That's CHIC. But that's Thistle as well, and probably that's Scotland. So I think he's the one that got away. He's the one that should have been in the Scotland team that never got a chance. And I would have loved to have seen Chico in a Scotland strip. So my wild card, and I know he's never had a game, is the one and only CHIC CHARNLEY, or Zorro, as he's known to the Jags fans. Playing alongside him on the far left of the midfield, I'm going to go for Davie Cooper. Now, I've seen Davie Cooper play many, many times on videos and TV shows and in the flesh as well. I remember him mostly from his Motherwell days, to be honest, and I do remember him playing for Scotland. Obviously, he scored some hugely important goals. He scored the goal in Wales on the terrible night that JOHNSTONE passed away, but it was a hugely significant goal for Scotland. He then went on, that was to get us to the playoffs, and he then scored the goal against Australia that got us to the World Cup that year as well. So scored many, many great goals for Scotland. But again, like Jinky, like Chico, a player that likes to keep the ball at his feet, likes to take on defenders. He is exciting to watch. And I think that would be a very interesting, attacking midfield. Might not work, but that's who I'm going to go with. Up front, I am going to have Kenny Dalglish. I don't think you can have a Scotland 11 without Kenny Dalglish. Obviously the most capped player. He scored more goals than anyone else for Scotland, and the guy's just a legend, isn't he? He's class personified. He would get in any greatest team right the way throughout the world, I think. Skillful, talented, determined as well. Kenny Dalglish, score goals for you left, right and centre. He is up front for me. And playing alongside him, and I struggled with this one as well. I mean, obviously you've got like Joe Jordan, Dennis Law, Mo Johnston, but I never really saw, apart from Mo Johnston, I never really saw them play enough, even though I've seen the footage and stuff. So I'm going to go with Super Ali. I'm going to go with Ali McCoist for this one. I'm going to stick him up front with Kenny Dalglish, which I just wish I'd seen that. I just wish I'd seen that. Ali McCoist, charming guy, everybody knows that, everybody loves Ali, but he was such a bloody good poacher. He was like right in front of the goal. You wouldn't want anyone else there. The partnership he had with Hateley for Rangers in the 90s was just incredible, and I think he was a great player for Scotland as well. I was down at Euro 96 when he scored that amazing goal against Switzerland, and I don't think anyone could forget the run that he did. He was actually faster running to hug Craig Brown than he actually was ever on the park scoring a goal. But he just turned and he saw him in the corner, and Craig Brown was standing at the touchline, and he just ran over and they gave each other a massive big hug, and we all went bonkers in the terracing. So for that reason, and for the fact that I just think he would be a really good squad player, everybody wants a team with somebody like a joker like Ali McCoist in it. He is my final choice. So that is my dream team. I'm not sure how they would play. I mean, it is 4-4-2. I think there's a lot of talent in there, but there's maybe too many sort of footery attacking players. So I think it's a team that they would have a lot of fun in a night out. I think they would be amazing to watch, but they're either going to win 6-0 or they're going to get absolutely pumped. But whatever way, they're my dream team. So come on, Scotland!